What is up, guys? It's me, the ALEXX Prince, and I am here to review a TV show. Yeah, I don't usually review TV shows. Um, uh, First of all, before I get started on this review, yes, Game of Thrones is about to end from what I hear. Here's the thing, I'm not a big Game of Thrones fan, and I'm just curious if you guys would be curious if I review every season, because my mom is a diehard Game of Thrones fan. She's willing. I'm down to like go buy the movies themselves or get the movies from her and then just watch them, binge watch through everything. It might be a little long, but you know, who knows? Yeah, I hope if you guys are into that, let me know, and then I'll review every season all the way up to the finale. And hope you guys enjoy that. Anyways, with that said, let's talk about my favorite TV show going on right now, Cobra Kai. Last year, I was blown away with the show. Everybody knows that Karate Kid is my favorite movie of all time. The fact that they brought back Daniel LaRusso and Johnny Lawrence to be committed full-time players in the show, not just cameos, and plus throwing generation of new kids and stuff. And it wasn't like, okay, fine. It didn't really matter who was cast in this show. It was about can they portray a good character? Can they do a good character? And I noticed that they got rid of all the characters we didn't like in the first season, and some of them they just kind of got rid of right away. Some of them were just kind of like, oh, all right, that happened. Like they got rid of the girl bully, the one who was picking on the main girl from Cobra Kai. I keep forgetting her name. But you know who the main friend of LaRusso's daughter, the chubby one with glasses. Yeah, like the girl who was picking on her, who got embarrassed in the last one, she wasn't there. They explained that Daniel LaRusso's kid, from the younger kid, he was at summer camp, so they explained why he wasn't around as much. And then who else they got rid of? They got rid of they got rid of his cousin. I'm kind of okay with that one. Some of them they just got rid of all the fat, to pretty much say no, to say the least. But in this one, we get the return of Martin Cove, aka John Kreese. Yes, last season ended with John Kreese coming back saying yes, Cobra Kai won, and the beginning of this story is only just getting started. So pretty much they both start fighting, and this is spoilers, by the way, full on spoilers. If you guys haven't seen it, I recommend you guys to go watch it. This is a great season. Not as good as the first one, because you can't top the first one. That was just too legit. And pretty much I'll just give you the gist of the story, because I don't want to be like, oh, episode this, episode that happened. I just kind of want to get to the gist of the story. Pretty much Kreese wants to come back to Cobra Kai, but obviously Johnny doesn't want that, so he's like telling him no, but then he realized what a mistake he's done, but turns out it was just a plan to take Cobra Kai back for him. So, and meanwhile, Daniel LaRusso is starting to run his own team of Cobra. Not his, Miyagi though. So far he's only had 2 students. Daniel's son, Johnny's son. I keep forgetting his name. What was it? Let me just double check his name. Like, for some reason the name doesn't. I forgot his fucking name. Daniel's son name. Just double checking. I'll find you in a second. Fuck! I can't find a stupid name. Anyways, pretty much his son. I know it's not Miguel because he's like the main kid from Cobra Kai, but him and Sam are him. Robbie. Fuck. I feel stupid. How did I fuck that? But anyways, Robbie and Sam, they're the only 2 students. They have some good training. Eventually, one of their trainers eventually comes to play at the mall. Eventually. But one of the biggest characters of last season who made an even bigger impact in this season was Hawk. Hawk was a kid that got bullied in high school in the beginning until he joined Cobra Kai. They were making fun of him because of his lip, and then eventually he grows a mohawk. He changes his name. He's different, different kind of kid, and yeah. Uh, Eventually, he's just as badass. Now he's a bully. He was good in this season. He was clearly his season. I think out of the kids, he's gonna be the main bad guy in the next season. Either that or Tori, which I'll get to. Hawk was good. He was a little bit too cartoony in this episode. Even Dimitri was like, "Come on, this guy is silly." And I like Dimitri's story. There was some points where I'm like, okay, I could see why people pick on this guy because he's kind of annoying. So that was all right. It was also kind of funny Hawk's reaction when he found out his girlfriend is a lesbian now. I don't have her name up here. But yeah, Aisha was the name of the girl who got picked on. But anyways, yeah. Pretty much in this season, for the most part, they're still trying to get some bonding with Robbie and Johnny, but it doesn't really work out that well. It does pick up at the end, but it's kind of like it started and then it kind of faded away, and then it came back at the end. So that kind of took me out of it. And pretty much Daniel's trying everything to do to make Miyagi-Do a successful place. Eventually, when Kreese talks to Hawk and talks to him into burning down or taking down Miyagi-Do, they take the Medal of Honor. They basically trash the place, and eventually Daniel loses his shit because he's been getting picked on by Cobra Kai the whole time. He just goes to the dojo and loses his shit. And then eventually, there's a couple of new students that hated Cobra Kai, and one of them was very important. I forgot the name of the kid, but he was like the big black kid. I remember those two, he and his friends were like dorks, and I like how it plays out at the end in the final battle, which I'll get to. But yeah, no, he was probably like the main one who left, and it was kind of a spoiler because in the trailers it does show. In the second trailer, it gave away way too fucking much. It gave away way too much, and I really wish I didn't see it. Now I know in season 3 I won't be watching any trailers. Maybe the first one, but not the second one. They gave away way too much. But anyways, there was that. Throughout the story, it's basically Miguel trying to go back with Sam. It's kind of like, what I like about this. The kids is that they actually take advantage, and then they're like, okay, well, this is what would have happened if Johnny was in Miyagi-Do, and this is what would have happened if Daniel was in Cobra Kai. Now, I've actually never seen Karate Kid 2, 3, the new Karate. I've only seen the original Karate Kid and the Jaden Smith one. This is my honest opinion. And I probably should be watching them, but I've heard they're terrible, so I don't feel like watching them. But I didn't know this. Daniel was in Cobra Kai. So that was a big shocker to me. Yeah, and it was good to know, why that movie failed. Now I know why. I was like, yeah, I could see why people would be pissed off about that Cobra Kai or Daniel joining Cobra Kai. It made sense. And it was cool that they, own up to all these movies. I know Will Smith is producing this, so maybe we could get Jaden Smith and Jackie Chan somewhere in this season or in this show. But pretty much they're starting a there's no tournament in this match and this show, but pretty much for the most part it was just about getting to know the new kids and elevating the story. The Miguel and Sam story, it's pretty like there's times where I'm like Tori in this series, like, okay, just get over her. Now Tori is actually a famous actress in Disney Channel. She was in that show Jessie, I believe it was. Yeah. She was probably one of the biggest names in there. I really got to know her from Diary of the Wimpy Kid. Her performance here is a lot different than this one. She's like more hardcore. She's more badass. She's more mean. It was still kind of hard to take her serious in the beginning, just because I'm used to seeing her as this like cartoony, goofy character. But now I could see it. They kind of exaggerated at the end, and that's probably one of those things where it's kind of, you're gonna have to let that slide, because there's a lot of unbelievable shit. Like there's a lot of stuff that there's just like, okay, they went too far. They kind of went fast and furious in the sense that shit made no sense. And where were the cops? Where was security during all of this crap? They never explained this shit. Like they made a joke in the at the final fight where, you know, what was his face? His name, freaking. Let me double check. Dimitri. He calls a teacher, but then he sees that the teachers are so crazy, that the kids are too crazy to fight. I don't know where this is going with, but I'm more excited for season 3 than I was for this one. And this was a good season. I'm not giving any doubts about it. This is a great season, but I can't wait for 3, especially the way this show ended. Somewhere in the show, and I'm probably gonna briefly talk about everything just so everything makes sense at the end. But I kind of had a feeling that Johnny was gonna hook up with freaking Miguel's mom, and I like how it played out with when they bring back his friends from the original Karate Kid, when they're all reuniting because one of them's about to die. Tommy's about to die. He's like he's just like not feeling good. He's just this close to death, and it's just horrible. But they take him on a trip. They're just talking, just hanging out, and that was probably one of my favorite episodes, where there's just them hanging out, kicking it, and talking, and remembering the times. And I like how he's like, you know what? I never really got over Allie. You know, there was other girls, but Allie was special, and a lot of people can relate to that, which is why I think William Zabka had the best performance in this entire show. Hell, one of my favorite things about him is that he doesn't get the internet. You know, he's like yelling at the dude, like, dude, this shit doesn't work. This shit sucks. Then you try turning it on. Yeah, I'm not an idiot. And then he turns it on. He's like, oh, I knew that. And it was just funny. Even when he's like using Tinder, he's like, no, yeah, no. But my favorite scene is him when he's like, when he like put the song Thunderstruck. I don't think we own that song. Yes, we do. It's in the back of my car. And put a hash brown Team Cobra Kai. That was just too funny. It just probably the funniest line of the whole show. But what I'm saying is that scene with Tony and Johnny interacting, where he's like, you know what's good about you? You're still young. You can still live life. Do what you want to do. And you could tell, you know, he doesn't want to really run Cobra Kai, but he felt bad for Miguel, but now he really needs the money. So really, Johnny was just there to kind of inspire kids, because, you know, he doesn't want to fail what he did with Robbie. And Miguel's probably like his like next prize, and he's a good father figure. Probably, again, Johnny had the best chemistry with everybody in this show, and I gotta give props to William Zabka. He's probably the best part of the whole show. I mean, technically it's his show, but this is probably, like, I like this performance a lot more than in season 1. He was just, I mean, he's still kind of like a doofus, but it still made sense. But let's talk about anyways, I'll get to the Facebook thing and the finale at the end, obviously. But let's talk about Tori with a Y. There was theories that she's related to Allie, that she's Allie's daughter because of that reference. I don't think so. I honestly don't think so, because Allie and Tori are too fucking different. Yeah, they're both blondes. There's no way they could be related. And plus, freaking Allie lives far from where they're at. And it's like, how the fuck did Tori even get there? So I really don't think they're related. I like how they just made her just like a tough badass. She has a crush on Miguel, but, you know, she hates Sam because Sam didn't trust her at this party that she got invited to with Aisha. So everything's connected. They kind of made her too mean. Like, even like, there's one scene where they made her feel sympathy of like how, you know, her mom got fired because she couldn't feed the kids, and so she used to take food that they were gonna throw away. So that was like the only sympathetic thing about her. Speaking of people who I feel no sympathy for, let's talk about John Kreese. He was like a dick. He talked shit about Mr. Miyagi after he was dead. He fucking light up his cigarette, put it off on one of his plants. He was just a cold-blooded motherfucker. He doesn't give a shit what era he's in. He is just a mean motherfucker. But he does teach the kids good lessons, and you can kind of see his side even in the first original Karate Kid. Obviously, he was a dick in Karate Kid 3 from what I saw. That clip of him fighting Miyagi and he broke his hands. But they did a good job of making him a pure villain, and you kind of get his story. But he is a true, just evil dude, and I like that. That was a good balance. Yeah, that balance. That word's probably gonna be thrown around a lot. Daniel, his story was kind of like meh, because it was just he wants to bring karate back, but why? Just to beat Cobra Kai? And I get it, Cobra Kai is evil and shit, but then he got to the point where he just forgets about his family and stuff. Like he doesn't talk to his wife that much. His employee stopped trusting him after getting beaten up by Johnny. He does help Robbie a lot, but it was just like not that much. And the chemistry with Robbie and Sam, you could tell that shit was forced as a motherfucker. I felt no sympathy for that shit. It was just like I just liked Robbie when he was just his own guy. I didn't think he should have dated Sam. They could have hung out, they could have done stuff together, but they shouldn't have dated. Maybe they tease him liking Sam, but them actually dating just didn't work. It was fucking forced as hell. And then it really hurt the ending fight when Sam kisses Miguel, even though she was kind of drunk at that big party with everybody coming back. Yeah, pretty much it was that, and then Tori catches him, so she just turns evil. What more do I want to talk about? Let's just talk about the finale. I don't want to really grasp on this too much, but the last episode is them going back to school. They're just kind of going through their day after that big party that happened, everything that came to play, and then they're giving the morning attendance or like the morning announcements, and then Tori finds a way in there. She's like, Sam LaRusso, I know what you did. You know what you did, and I'm coming for you. And then it ends like, in their break that they're just having a stare down. She says that she kissed Miguel, then they get in a fight. Robbie tries to stop the fight, but then Miguel starts fighting Robbie, and then it becomes Team Cobra Kai versus Team Miyagi-Do, all one-on-one. And I like how they put the new kids together. They put the little kids together. One character I forgot to bring up, who I did not like at all in this season. I didn't give a shit. This character was just too fucking silly. Stingray. What the fuck were they thinking with this character? I did not like this character at all. He was fucking annoying as shit. Just a fucking adult goofball. He was just too much. They kind of over exaggerated. Some of the writing was silly in the first Cobra Kai, but it came after the story. But this one was just too fucking silly. I did not like this character at all. I don't like how he joined in Team Cobra Kai, because technically he would be arrested if he got away with the shit he did. But no, he finds a way to just like get out of it. Even in the final fight, it made sense in that one area where they're fighting in the woods, when Miguel gets the Medal of Honor back from Hawk, and then Stingray just steals the victory. It was good to see him being a good guy, but it really showed that Robbie was not that good of a kid. But you feel his side of the story, but Miguel was like, he was always a nice boy. And I'll get more to that when I get to the ending. But yeah, I did not like Stingray at all. That's why I try not to bring him up. But I was like, nah, he kind of has to come up in this story when he fights all those people at the end. Security only catches the two little kids. That's about it. I like how they had finally Dimitri stand up for himself against Hawk. It was kind of cool that that came into play. Dimitri, he's pretty much that awkward kid. He doesn't really want to fight. He just wants to be able to defend himself. And he finally did. So that was that. That was cool. The whole fight was Tori and Sam. She had a bracelet with freaking spikes, so she would punch her with that. That hurt her hand. But it all came to ending when Miguel and Robbie fight, and then Miguel was gonna break Robbie's arm until he remembered, yeah, yeah. It shows Johnny talking to him like, I wanted you to be better than I ever was, so he didn't break his arm. And then Robbie loses his shit. He pushes him down like the stairs, and he hits his back with like the railing, and he gets paralyzed. And that's how the show ends. I don't think he's dead. They are not gonna kill him. That's just gonna be too hard to watch. But I am curious what the hell's gonna happen with those two when they meet up again. Will they team up to take on Cobra Kai? I'll get more into that. Or will they go against each other? Will Miguel still be in Cobra Kai or something like that? I don't know what the fuck is gonna happen. But let's get into it. And Johnny and Daniel's chemistry, it shows that they like each other. They're pretty good friends. It's just that, it's just little things that just make them lose their shit. Like, they even fight at the last episode after the previous episode. They were just hanging out with their girlfriends. Well, one's wife and the other one's girlfriend. And then when he gets paralyzed, Miguel gets paralyzed, the mom says, like, I never want to see you again. Before you got here, he was a nice boy. He didn't get into fights, but now I don't want to see you again. It was just super sad. And that was the end of Johnny and eventually Daniel's wife said, nope, this has got to stop. Shit's got to end. And he, Miyagi-Do got closed down. Cobra Kai got taken from John Kreese again, and all the kids turned against freaking Johnny because he was being more sympathetic. And because of that, Miguel was hurt, which I could see their side of the story. Someone I didn't see in that group of kids was Aisha, so I'm guessing she is going to be just done with karate. But from what it looks like it's going to end with Johnny and Daniel teaming up against John Kreese, because I could tell they're good friends. It's just that they might have some disagreements. I'm pretty sure that's what this is all going to lead to. Now, let's talk about the one person we've all been waiting to talk about. Was Allie in season 2? Nope, she was not. They referenced her a couple of times, when Daniel's talking to Sam about her love life, when Johnny's at the woods with his boys. But the biggest one is when Johnny finally gets Facebook. Hey, I am in the Facebook. We should catch up. He was gonna send it, but then he was too petty until somebody bumped into him and he accidentally sent the text. So in my head, I was like, oh shit, she's gonna show up at the end like John Kreese did in the first season. Instead, what it ends with, with Johnny just upset at the beach drinking. He loses his shit. He throws the car keys. He leaves his car there because it was a Cobra Kai design car. He's done with Cobra Kai. He's just done with karate. He's like, fuck this. He throws the keys. His phone keeps ringing throughout the show, but he doesn't understand how the phone works. So he just loses his shit. He just throws his phone, and it ends with Allie sent Johnny a friend request. So will she come back? Hopefully. I'm pretty sure she has to come back. It's kind of impossible. Maybe they talk to her online, but I don't know if she'll physically come back. The most they'll probably do is talk to her online. That's about it. But yeah, I'm very excited for season 3. Season 3 might have potential of being better than this and the first one. I like the first one just a little bit more because it was something different, it was something new, and it was something that we haven't seen before. This is more of what we've seen. What I like about a sequel to anything is just continuing the story, and I think it did that correctly. A couple of goofy ass characters, a couple of dumb shit, but overall, I still thought it was a great season. I thought it was really good. It's not as good as the first, but I still loved it. Anyways, those are my opinions on season 2. What are you guys' thoughts? It's me, the ALE XX Prince. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and until then, I'm out.